Hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hi everyone, this is Jinto. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. This video is going to be a combination of me doing voiceovers versus just having time lapses with chill music over the top. Pretty new to crafting and making things and also this YouTube stuff. So trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Let me know what you like and don't like, and yeah, enjoy. I got the idea to make this diffuser from the 3D pen artist Sanago. When he made this Blastoise diffuser, I thought, damn! That's so cool. I wish I can have one myself. And I thought, oh, how about I make one? I looked online and I found a DIY kit for diffusers. This was my reference for a diffuser at home. And I thought to myself, okay, so this diffuser is gonna need to hold water. It's gonna need to have a place to fit the diffuser head, a place for the circuit board. I have to design the lid that sits on top of it. And since I'm not a 3D pen artist, I'll be using Blender, Onshape, and the Bambu A1 Mini to print all the stuff. A quick disclaimer, I still consider myself a beginner at, CAD related stuff and 3D sculpting and using Blender and all this stuff. So if anyone has any tips or advice, feel free to drop them down below, and any feedback would be helpful. But yeah, please be nice. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm just jumping onto Onshape first to get a rough sketch of the diffuser box, which will be holding the water. I have to think about where the circuits will sit, where the hole for the plug will go in, how the diffuser head will sit on. If you notice, I'm just quickly sketching out where things might be at the moment. I'm not really focusing on making sure everything is perfectly aligned or all the micro measurements are in place. This is just a rough outline, an idea of what it's probably going to look like when it's printed. And the great thing about having a 3D printer is that you can do rapid prototyping. So I'm just quickly putting up some walls, putting up where the diffuser head might sit. And later on, you'll see me jump onto the Bambu Slicer software and print out a quick prototype to sort of suss the positioning of everything and how everything feels. So here I'm going back onto Onshape after printing out a prototype, and now that I have a rough idea of where I want things and I kind of like the positioning, I started thinking about, all right, how are we going to waterproof the circuitry and make sure that the circuit and the water for the diffuser can exist in the same sort of box. And so I'm thinking a lot about, where the hole for the circuit for the wiring should be, how the walls should be placed. And at the moment, it's all at the bottom. And later on, I realized that it's not that great for design with waterproof stuff because, it can easily leak. And so later on, you do see a iterative version of the circuit board area to be higher and more sealed against water. After I sort of got the design of the box in a rough state, I decided to jump onto Blender to learn it so I can start designing the ducts and the lid that sits on top of it. And anytime you want to learn Blender, I did the thing and I went to Blender Guru, watched all of his tutorials and took what I needed from it to start designing the ducts. I also went through a tutorial of someone who made a cinematic duct scene in Blender, so that really helped me get started with understanding some ways of how to sculpt and make characters and things like that. Here I'm trying to figure out how to best dissipate the diffuser, and I poked some holes into the ducts because I was thinking maybe I can make it come out of the ducts like steam, like they're hot, but I found that it wasn't very effective and it didn't really go out as much as I'd hoped unless I make the holes bigger, and I didn't want the ducts to have holes in them, big holes in them, especially because they were small models. And to try to solve this problem, I was thinking of using the gaps between the slats as a way to dissipate the water.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
I learned that making things in Blender for 3D printing is very different from making things in Blender for digital related things. And that was a very painful lesson to learn, especially when I had very messed up topology and geometry that was sticking around everywhere, and my printer for some reason wasn't happy about that. It was at this point I realized, oh, I can make holes in the tub so the water can come out from there rather than coming out from the slats by itself or from the ducts. You can see where the red arrow is pointing. I tried to make holes coming out from under the hollow tub, but because the space between the geometry was too close, it didn't register as a hole. So we need to make more holes, bigger holes.
A few moments later.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that relaxing time-lapse and montage of me printing and painting the model. Now I'm going to be spraying it with a lacquer so that it is waterproof and the paint won't rub off. I'm using some food safe beeswax cream to coat the inside of the diffuser box so that it can prevent any water from leaking into the box itself. With PLA prints, there are some sort of gaps, and if you want water to be sitting in the box for a while, you want to make sure that those gaps are kind of covered, and the wax is a really toxic free and food safe way to do that. So this is the result of the final box design. As you can see, I've extruded up the diffuser head, I've moved up the circuitry to be at a more elevated level, and I built a bridge for where the circuits are. I'm going to be assembling the diffuser itself. Before I do that, I want to check if the circuitry and the diffuser works. You do not want to glue everything in and then realize it doesn't work and having to reprint everything again or tear it apart. Okay, so this is how you assemble the diffuser. You put these two heads together and there should be a little notch on the side for the circuit. To fit the diffuser and the cotton rod in, we're going to have to cut it down to about 1 millimeter. This is a little bit too big, but I'm just testing the sizing first before I commit. Once it's fitted in like that, we can just push through the head of this wire through. I used a toothpick to help guide it. Everything should fit quite easily and smoothly. The USB slot area should fit in that hole, and after connecting the wires together, I built a cap that you can slide in. It's a little finicky because the tolerances are quite thin, but once you get it in, it should be real snug and not move anywhere. After we fit check the lids, I start glue gunning the holes to the tunnel to make sure it is watertight between the diffuser bit with water and between the circuitry. Now for one of my favorite parts, and that is turning it on and seeing if it all works. I didn't plan to do this originally, but since I got myself a laser, I wanted to add something kind of custom made and nice at the front of the diffuser box. We're going to finish off the box now with the rope, which is the final embellishment and detail. I use clear Elmer's glue to keep the rope together before cutting off the ends. For the final assembly of the diffuser, I redesigned the circuit board lid so that it covers more of the circuitry and prevents water from seeping through. In my tests, I also found that the diffuser would turn off if water droplets fell into the middle. So I designed a diffuser cap to catch the water droplets coming from the roof of the lid. The rest of the assembly is pretty straightforward. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and found something helpful, useful from how I made this project. It took me a very, very long time, like I think a month of planning and learning and prepping and testing before I finally got to a design and iteration I really liked. You can find all the equipment I used in the description below, as well as the files, some of the tutorials I followed, the people you should check out. I do love crafting, and I'm pretty new to this whole YouTube content making thing. So yeah, let me know what you think about the things I'm building and doing in the comments. Oh, and one last thing, a little surprise. I want to give away 2 of these duck Ghibli diffusers with all the testing and the printing. I had a few spares lying around, and just some of them have a little chip here or a little warping there, but the diffuser box has been fully waxed. The diffuser has been installed. The ducks themselves will be unpainted, so you're gonna have to have fun doing that. And if you'd like one, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be picking a random person from the comment section. I am a really small channel right now, so if whoever's watching this, you probably have a really high chance of grabbing yourself a diffuser. And the winners will be announced in my next video. Thanks for watching.